Then we need to create a new folder in our app, and let's call it dashboard dash actually incorrect spelling dash board, and create a new file here called page.tsx and create the component. So export async default function, and this will be called dashboard. It will return a div with class name flex1 to match the screen size and overflow auto and padding of 4. Okay, export actually async might come after this for default async function, and everything is good. Let's put a hard-coded text here. This is layer, or let's call it user dashboard for now, and see if the page is working or not. Okay, so if I save, the dashboard page is working, and this is showing this is a user dashboard. So our page is successfully linked to dashboard route and it's working. So now let's create the first section in our dashboard, that is the edit profile section. So edit profile section that we need to create here. And above edit profile section we can have a title here that just say dashboard. So let's do that. So div, and let's set a class name of text center and font bold and text for Excel, and let's just say dashboard here. First save it. Okay, dashboard is visible and in the center. Now we need to create our edit profile section. So let me just create it for you to save your time. Okay, so I have created our dummy structure and UI for player dashboard. The first section it will have, that is the edit profile section, and if we open the edit profile section here component, then it is fetching the session and calling get user by email function to fetch the user, and this function we need to create it. Then we have a title here called edit profile, then edit profile component which requires a user as prop. So we are sanitizing user to pass it to the component because it is a client component. So we are using this function to convert the user to plain user, and we need to create this function also. And if we go to edit profile component, then we have a state here to toggle the edit profile options, that is the form. So it toggles the edit profile form and displays the user details section instead. And here we are catching the prop here of sanitized user type that we also need to create. And if we look at our edit profile form, so here is our form to edit the profile of the user. So let me show you the code here. So here is the code, and we have commented the error messages and successful message here because we can implement it later. Then we have a user details section here, and here is the code of user details section. So it displays name and email of the user. So now let's start linking and creating the functions that we need. So first of all, let's go to lib and create this folder. So if I copy this name, function name, and go to the lib MongoDB and user.ts file, then we need to create it here. So let's go to the end of page and file and create a new function here, export async function, and paste the function name, and we need an image of type string here. Then we need to return, it will return a user type or null. Okay, so now let's create it. So const client equals await get MongoDB client, and let's just copy the try catch block here, and we need to change this code. That's it, const user equals await db.collection of type user type, and from users collection. We need to find one and pass in the filter here with the email of type email, and then we just need to return the user here. Okay, everything is good. Now we need to update the error messages here. Fail to get user by email. Let's just say email from database and copy the error message here and paste it below. Okay, so this function is now ready. Let's import it, and we are passing the email, add an exclamation mark here, and everything is good. Next we need to create a function that sanitizes the user, and before that we need to create a new type here in user.ts, and let's just copy the user type here, and we need to rename it to sanitized user type. So it will receive a id of type string and giving profile id of type string, and then we have player team type which includes object id. So we need to create sanitized version of this also. So export type sanitized player team type, and then we have a team id of string here and role of type user teams role type, and we need to pass it here as sanitized player team type array, and everything is good. Let's create the function now. So okay, this directory has opened and maybe node modules. Okay, it is node modules. Now let's go to our lib and create a new file here called user.ts and create a new function here, export function, and call it sanitize user, and it will receive a user type. So user type and return a sanitized user type. So let's return a user full here. So user, then we need to change the id here. Let's add the question mark also. So user dot underscore id dot to string, then we need the gaming profile id. So user dot gaming profile id dot to string, and we might not need the question mark here, so let's remove them. Then we need the teams array here, and we need to map it. So user dot teams dot map as team, and it will return a team here. Then we need to modify the team id, and it will be team id dot to string, and everything is good now. So let's add a semicolon here, save it. Let's import it here. The function is currently imported correctly, and we need the exclamation mark here. So let's just save it. So our edit profile section is completely error free now. Let's move on to edit profile component. Then we need to import it here. So sanitize user type, and everything is good here also. Let's save it and move to the edit profile form, and we need to import it here also. And then we need a user id here. So what we are calling user edit profile sanitize user type, we might need exclamation mark here. Okay, then we need to create this action, and let's just save it. Okay, and still there is errors. Let's go to our user details section and import the correct type here. And if I now save it, and we are seeing edit profile section here. So we have name as Shubham Singh and email as ABCD. So if we click on edit profile, okay, edit profile form is opened, and we can't change the email, but we can change the name here. And we can add a field here to change the age also, that we can do later. So if I now click the cancel button, the edit profile component should go off and it is working correctly. So now maybe we can add a change age field also. So now let's copy this name field here and paste it below for the age here. So for the age, and we need a type number here. So assign it a number, and we need to create the state for it. So let's create it. So const input age set input age equals use state of type number and initialize it with 0. Okay, so we need to update this input name to input age, and we need to add a or type here, or as is 0. So now let's change the on change function here to set input age, and e.target.value we need to convert it to int. So parse int and pass the value here. Okay, so if I now save it, it should be visible in the edit profile form here. And if I click on edit profile, we are seeing an age field here, and if we add or delete some values, nothing, no error is shown. So we need to add a age field here also. So let's go to edit profile. So let's go to user details section and add a age field here also. Let's copy it and add a age here. So after name we also need the age here. If I now save it, okay, age is visible, and we need to update this text to say age. Okay, if I now click on edit profile, we need to actually fetch it from the user. So let's do that also. So user dot age and or 0, let's save it and click on cancel. Let's refresh. Now the age should be filled by the database. So if I click on edit file, okay, it is setted from the database, and if I change, no errors is shown. So our edit profile section is complete. Now we just need to create this action called update user details action. So let's do that. So let's close all of this. So now let's go to actions user.ts, and we need to create a new action. Let's copy the action name, and we also need to append the age here. So form data dot append age, and it is input age maybe. Actually we don't need to append, we can just specify the input type name. So it is not aim but age, and we have a name of name here and name of email here. And if we look at it, we don't have a name in our email. That's just totally fine, because we don't want to allow the user to change their email address. So if I now, let's create the update user detail action here. And before that, let me just show you the files and folders structure I have defined to create edit profile and dashboard page. So we have a components folder. Inside this we have a dashboard folder, and inside dashboard we have edit profile folder that contains edit profile component file, edit profile form file, edit file section file, and user details section file. So now let's create the action here. So let's go to bottom of our action file and create a new function, export async function, and let's just copy the name here, update user details actions, paste it here, and it will receive a pre state of type action state and form data of type form data. It will return a promise of type action state, and just return here success as false, errors as errors, and message as empty string. Now let's create the errors array. So const errors of type string array instead with empty array. and here we need to import the variable. So const email equals home data dot get email as string, and const name equals home data dot get name as string. Then we need the age, so const age equals parse int because it is a number, so form data dot get age as string. And then what do we need? We have name, age, email. Now we need to validate this, so validation here. And also we need a user ID here that we have defined in at the profile form and appended it. So we need to add user ID to filter it for users collection. So user ID is equals to form data dot get user ID as string. And if we look at, okay, it is called user ID. Now let me just add the validation. Okay, so I have added the validations here. So if name is not present, we need to say please enter your name and email and valid age and user ID. So now let's create the function to update the user. So const update result equals await. We need to say update user details, and we need to pass the parameters here. So email, name, age and user ID. We might not need the email variables and parameters here because we are not updating it. You can just delete it from here and here also. Let's go to our, let's not append the email here. So if I now save it, and we need to create this function, so let's create the function here. So and also we might need to change the input here. Okay, there is no errors here. We have input email here that is set to user.email and we can't change it. So let's go to update result here and create the function in our lib MongoDB and user.ts. So let's copy the function name here. Let's copy the whole function here. Let's copy it, and inside here let's create this function. So export async function and paste the function name and parameters. Then we need to return a promise here that of type boolean or boolean. Then we need to fetch the client here. The const client is await get MongoDB client, and we need to copy paste the try catch block. Same things again and again, and here we need to say const result equals await dot collection of type user type. Then we need the users collection here, and for the update one function. Here we need to first pass the filter, so underscore id as user id, and it is a type of, okay, we need to define a type here of type object id, and age of type number, and name of type string. So we might need to convert it to, let's do this later. Let's just create the function here. So then we need to call set function here. So let's put a comma here and call the set operator, and it will set the name as name, age as age, and that's all it updates. So now we need to return the acknowledgement. So return dot acknowledgement and update the error messages here. Fail to update user and user details actually in database. And let's just copy paste it. So copy and paste it. Let's just save it and import the function here, update user details, and we need to add object id dot create from a string here. Okay, we need a comma here and space bar, and we need to check if update result is false. Then we need to push an error here. Errors dot push failed to update user details, and else we need to return the action state success as true, and errors as errors, and message as successfully updated user details. Okay, so if I now save it, and we have an error here, let's just remove the email from here because we don't need it. Let's just save it and check the edit profile form. So let's refresh the page and click on edit profile. Let's rename our name to, let's just say, sample name, and age let's do 35, and we can't change the email. If I now click on apply, okay, we might need to update our action here, and let's just import it from at that actions user.ts file, and everything is good. We need to uncomment these to show error and successful messages, and everything is good. Now let's save it and refresh the page one more time. Let's click on edit profile and edit the name here. So sample name, age 35, let's do it 32 only, and let's click on apply button and see what happens. Okay, successfully updated user details. So now let's check the database. So now let's go to MongoDB and refresh the page here, and we should see the updated details of Shubham Singh user. Okay, we have name as sample name, email as abcd, actually abc, and password 123, age 32 updated, and teams array as it is, and gaming profile id as it is. Okay, so we are successful in updating the user details in the database with our new form here. So now next thing we need to do is, let's go to our OneNote here. We have added the functionality to edit profile of user, so let's try through it. Next we need to show the gaming profile of the user inside dashboard, so let's do that. But before that, let's just commit the changes here. So if I run git status here, and we have modified few files there, so let's just git add all of them and git commit dash m and say add dashboard page to our project, and project with edit profile feature. Okay, so let's just push enter, and it has completed the changes. Let's run git status one more time, nothing to commit. Let's just push the code to GitHub, git push origin main, and let's look at our GitHub repository. So if I refresh here, we should see 53 commits. Okay, 53 commits, and the latest commit is add dashboard page to our project with edit profile feature.